I'm Alan Nguyen, the Combined Arms, and this is Dining In with Nguyen. Dining In with Nguyen.
Yeah, I love it.
And
This is the first episode?
This is the very first episode, inaugural episode at Sing Restaurant on 18th Street in the Heights.
That's right.
In Houston, Texas. And will you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Jerry Lasco. I own Sing, and very excited to have you here. Love our partnership with Combined Arms, and looking forward to talking some food with you.
Yeah, and I will talk anybody's ear off about food.
Okay.
But I want you to talk my ear off about food.
Okay, great.
I personally love. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. I eat a lot of Malaysian food.
Sure.
But is Malaysian food distinguishable from Singaporean food?
No, Singaporean food's really a melting pot of all the other countries around it. So Singapore's a pretty new nation state, and what it did is it grabbed the culture and the foods of everybody that's around it. So Malaysia, being one of the big influences, is part of Singapore culture, part of Singapore cuisine.
Wow. Okay. First of all, would you tell us about your tie to Combined Arms?
Yeah.
And you're a veteran yourself.
That's right.
And please just quick, whatever you'd like to tell us about that.
All right, sure. So I'm a veteran. I spent 14 years active duty in the Air Force. I was a pilot. I got to work with all different services during that tour, and I appreciate what the military does. And so now that I'm out, I love the concept of supporting our military, those that work hard, put their lives on the line for our freedom. And Combined Arms is a fantastic program. I initially found out about Combined Arms through the Lone Star Veterans Association, which I've been supporting for years. So I'm excited about the union and the growth through Combined Arms.
That's amazing.
Excited about a great partnership.
Well, as you know, Lone Star Veterans Association has been a large part of Houston and for Texas for years.
Yeah. And
they've fortunately merged with Combined Arms, so we're all one big happy organization, and we're happy you came along for that ride. You know what? This first dish just got slid over to me, and why don't you tell me what this is so I can take a bite out of it?
Yeah. So it looks like you've got some Tiger Cry, which is a beef dish that's been marinated in a very spicy sauce. The legend has it that it was so spicy that it could make the tiger cry. Or no, actually, they're throwing me off. They're making this tough because they're handed. That looks like a beef riblet, so that's not the tiger cry.
Is there a rib in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a little rib in there.
I'm glad I knew that before I put the whole thing in my mouth.
And that's a dry rub, and it's got some lemongrass and soy base. One of the interesting things here is soy sauce is very prevalent in Asian food. And all of our soy sauce is gluten-free, so in case anybody has a gluten allergy, which I do. So it's a tamari, it's an organic tamari. So that's one of our lemongrass riblets. Then it looks like you have a chicken sauté, and that's a peanut sauce that you can dip. So the peanut is kind of the base, and then the lime and the pickled cucumbers provide the acid.
Okay.
And that's really the mix of Asian food. You have heat, you have acid, you have sweet, oftentimes, and they just work really well together.
Well, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah,
right
dig
now.
in.
All right.
Yeah, you're loving it. Excellent. That's what I like. Yeah, that's. All right, so that's the team's job here, is to make people happy. And those little egg rolls, they've got a little pork. And you can wrap them up in the lettuce. Is typically how they do it.
What I like about the riblet is the crunchy exterior.
Yeah.
And the just like any ribs, you eat off the bone. It's always good.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So,
And this is a chicken sauté.
Yeah.
Get one of these.
yeah. Check that out. You can dip that in the peanut sauce if you like.
Also, well-seasoned exterior. I like how tender the chicken is.
Yeah, it should be a little bit, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside.
Would you say that's one of the more popular dishes here? The chicken sauté?
The chicken sauté, it's between the tiger cry. So you missed out on the tiger cry. It was here before you got here. I'd have to ask which one sells more, but I'm going to guess the beef tiger cry.
Okay.
But there's a huge fan base that likes the peanut-based sauce. It's a little sweeter. It's a little less spicy.
For those people that do like spicy, those heat seekers, do you ramp up the spice at request?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's really easy for us back there because everything is cooked to order. So the whole concept behind this was, and the reason we like this style of cooking, is we've got these woks back there with these jet burners, and these woks will get up to 1,500 degrees in about 30 seconds. So you put an order in, and it's cooked, it's ready, it's hot, steaming, fresh in under 5 minutes. So that's different than ordering a pizza or like fried chicken at one of our other restaurants, which we cook low and slow, and it takes 35 minutes at Max's Wine Dive to get our gourmet fried chicken. Here, everything comes out in 5 minutes.
Or your plug for your other business, Max's Wine Dive.
Right, exactly.
Also, I love wine, and trying to get more and more educated about it. And let's start another conversation. But I love
Sure.
in my love of wine, I've been trying to do some blind somm test.
Right.
And I always like to give people, and they had the preconceptions of wine, and just give them something where you think they would like, and just what do you think that is, and just completely surprise them on
Right.
what exactly it is. Another conversation. We're focusing on Singaporean food today. What I do like about any restaurant that knows what they're doing is that the food will always come out hot.
Right.
There's nothing bugs me more than just room temperature food when it hits the table.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everything's hot, everything's good. Let's walk me through this right here.
Yeah. Okay. So those are your riblets, and someone just had put one on your plate. So
Okay. So these are
going to
the
be
same.
more of the same. They're small, little, just delicious guys. My kids can go through about 5 bowls of those.
And this is a soy sauce base.
It is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but gluten free.
How else do you season the beef, or before it hits the riblets? I'm sorry.
Yeah, a sambal, which the closest thing to a sambal here, it's this really mashed pepper, Thai peppers that we mash up with garlic and oil, and then lemongrass. Lemongrass provides that acid. Do you know what lemongrass is?
Okay,
Yeah,
sure do.
Yeah, of course. So a lot of lemongrass in there, a little bit of cilantro, soy sauce, and sambal. That brings the heat.
A lot of Vietnamese food also uses lemongrass.
Absolutely.
There's another restaurant I can go into where they're cooking beef, and you can walk out smelling like lemongrass. It's I guess if you want to smell like food, that's the place to do it.
Lemongrass is not a bad way to smell. It's better than fish sauce.
It's true. Yeah. All right. Here you go. That's good. Here you go.
So, Mike, you had talked about the pepper crab from Singapore. Pepper crabs, big, messy, just giant crabs, and it's expensive.
Yep.
Those samosas are our nod to pepper crabs.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they're not pepper crabs, but they're crab rangoon samosas. So,
It was absolutely fantastic. It was a hint of spiciness in it.
Right.
Crunchy on the exterior, very soft on the interior. One of the best dishes I've had. The food here is absolutely fantastic and phenomenal.
I'm glad you like
So
it.
thank you for having us.
Hey, and speaking of wine, you need a glass?
I would love one. That's one. Yeah. Thank
White
you.
or red?
Red.
You got it.
Yeah. Before you do that, tell me about this. Speaking of crab.
Yeah, so it's a samosa. It's a little shell that we stuff with some cream, some cream cheese, and crab meat.
Oh no.
Fry it up really quick, so it should be scalding hot inside. In fact, my kids have scalded their tongues on it. And then you've got a nice spicy little sauce that mixes with it.
This is like a super elevated crab rangoon from a Chinese buffet, but
Yeah.
15 times. Well, it's amazing.
Well, that's our hope, and like you said, the key is getting those right out of the fryer because they're delicious when they're scalding hot. It's our riff on the Singapore chili crab.
I could probably eat 15 of these.
Yeah.
It'd be real bad.
Yeah,
but it'd be real good.
With wine or cold beer, I think
Oh my
that,
gosh.
that would be a
Perfect
good
beer
mix.
food.
Yeah, we even
Perfect
have
beer
sake. So if you're into sake, you can come here and do sake bombs.
Absolutely. Let's talk about more like what you like to pair these, like in terms of alcohol or drinks or
Yeah.
what do you usually like to eat with Singaporean food?
Well, I'll just say spicy food in general. I think that I'm kind of a wine guy from historically. So Riesling, German Riesling, and it can be slightly off dry. Really goes well with spicy food. The white wines, red wines, I found always makes it burn even more in my mouth. So if you got something really spicy and you got a red wine, you're just playing with fire right there. But beer goes super great with it, and either cool or hot sake. I like cold sake.
I love cold sake.
Yeah.
You have the
really
unfiltered going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got a few different styles, including the niguri. So
One last thing over here is,
Yeah.
I believe, egg rollers.
yeah, that's our fried egg roll. Traditionally, you wrap that up in a lettuce leaf. You put a little bit of the julienne carrots in next to it. You dip it in, and again, I always tell people when these come out, eat them first. Don't start on your salad or anything like that. You can save that salad for later.
Yeah.
Just jump into the super hot food, and knowing how you like it hot. I'd tell you, yeah.
And what helps with like the wet lettuce leaf too, if you need to mitigate some of that.
Yeah,
Not by a lot,
yeah.
but the inside's still hot.
Well, it helps you hold it. It should be so hot that you can't even hold it. Yeah, and there's a little fried pork in there.
I love it.
Good.
It's delicious. Thank you, Jerry.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
That's the job, is to make people happy. Big smiles on faces is our goal.
Well, this about wraps up this episode. This very first episode, inaugural
You
episode.
didn't even get your glass of wine.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that's
don't
coming.
worry, it's drinking off screen.
Right,
Don't worry,
right,
I can't be too much
Yeah.
of a lush.
No,
for the
you got
camera,
it.
So it'll be okay.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much,
I
Jerry.
enjoyed
This is so much fun.
Yeah, and we'll get the next episode, and we'll be pros by the second time. Nice job, Alan.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was great, man.